Coronavirus had become the Black Swan. Bitcoin's current collapse is a Black Swan. The war in Ukraine is a Black Swan. Lately, we hear about Black Swans from every media outlet. This term was invented by the economist and philosopher Nassim Taleb, and today we will discuss what he thinks of crypto. Why does he hate it? And why does he predict its collapse? How does he feel about state regulation? And what will happen to the NFT market? Nassim Taleb was born in Lebanon, moved to the United States with his parents at 15 years, then graduated from business school. After stock trading, he became interested in science and writing, which led to two of his best, but not his only books: The Black Swan, The Impact of the Highly Improbable, and Anti-Fragile, Things That Gain from Disorder. We have read both books and can say with confidence, from them you can easily understand the position of the author. At least the reasons for his opinion are clear there. In 2017-2019, Taleb was a very big fan of cryptocurrencies. In his publications, he supported digital gold and criticized the government-controlled banking system. Taleb argued that Bitcoin is the first organic currency. Bitcoin's strength is that it cannot be controlled by central banks. In other words, he saw the future in blockchain. In 2020-2022, however, the scientist reversed his position. His publications about Bitcoin became harsh. He called Bitcoin holders complete idiots and one-liners, and digital gold a Ponzi scheme. So what happened? The writer said, cryptocurrency is of interest only to speculators. Bitcoin cannot become a currency without a government. To be a means of payment, digital gold must have stability and be easy to use. A scientist predicted the collapse of cryptocurrency. At the same time, like a real scientist, he makes arguments. The main cryptocurrency is worth exactly zero if it leaves the attention of users. Bitcoin is high volatile, depends on world currencies, and reacts sharply to any news. All of this leads to the fact that it is impossible to sell anything for Bitcoin because the price is constantly jumping. The writer admitted that he was fooled by the idea that Bitcoin could replace fiat money. The philosopher announced his decision to sell the assets he owned. But the main thing that has changed in his position is the attitude toward regulation on the part of the state. Taleb used to call the impossibility of state control the main advantage of cryptocurrencies. Now the scientist realized that a currency that is not supported by the state is a game. In addition, he stated that Bitcoin is much easier to trace than cash, and those cryptocurrency fans who don't understand this problem are idiots. It's also worth noting that Taleb sold all of his Bitcoins in early 2021 for over $40,000. Which is much higher than its current value. So one can still argue whether Taleb is first and foremost a scientist or still an investor. But why are we always talking about Bitcoin? What does he say about blockchain in general? Well, he still has a positive attitude toward it. Apparently, at least I didn't find his negative comments about the technology itself. But the NFT has been getting a lot of shit from Taleb lately. But why? One day, we'll have a video devoted only to NFT. But for now, we will discuss only the opinion of our scientist or investor. The NFT bubble is starting to burst, said Nassim Taleb. This is how an article about the NFT begins on investing.com. There, the writer cited the story of the sale of the first ever tweet. The first tweet on the web was sold as an NFT last year for nearly $3 million. Today, it's worth only a few thousand. Taleb also hasn't forgotten about the US Fed, believing the helicopter money and the pandemic inflation run-up was a mistake, because much of that easy money has gone into speculative investments like the NFT, and it's coming to the end today. By the way, Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency trading platform, has a similar opinion. He believes that people are losing their minds, alluding to the fact that in 2021 only, art-themed NFTs went under the hammer for $69 million. Actually, Taleb's opinion of the NFT is sharply negative, just like about Bitcoin, like about cryptocurrency in general. Only blockchain remains untouched by the scientist's critique. Why he's wrong about the NFT, you'll find out some other time. But for now, I suggest you take a look at why Bitcoin won't die in the next 10 years. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you soon.